It's about that time again when we take a look at all of the new games dropping in September for mobile devices. Games that may be good and some that may not. Let's take a look and see what September has for us. Necro Rogue-like RPG. We know these kinds of games. This is one of those bullet hell style RPG games, the ones that are like survival. Survive as long as you can. This one though, it seems like you're a necromancer. That's its twist here. And that's kind of cool, I guess. These games are really a lot of fun. They're super addicting. There are a lot of them to choose from. Whether this is the one that you're going to choose to play in, it's completely up to you. I guess if you like undead necromancer style things. And honestly, it seems like you have some decent extended life here, but you're undead. Somewhere that makes sense. This one is releasing on September 1st. Spirit Girl Indie is dropping on September 5th, and this is a vertical style indie, AFK action RPG. Is that even the way that we could title this thing? They're calling it a simulation style game, but it definitely seems like one of those hands-off type experiences where the grind can happen for you. Some things that I particularly like with this game are, one, that it's in a vertical format. There's just a need for games like that. They lend themselves towards being a little bit more casual and easier to pick up on the go and quickly play. In addition to that, there's also a space, a room, a place in all of our hearts for something that's a bit AFK. It allows us to play games while we're working and doing other things, and we can do the management element of the game. Also, this game has cool bosses, which I look forward to. The Elder Scrolls Castles drops on September 10th and is a simulation single-player style experience. Now, this is not something that you're expecting like maybe a Skyrim. It's more of a mobile rendition of an RPG game. The battles are pretty AFK, and the building that you do behind the scenes is where you probably spend a lot of your time, as well as building up your champions. This one, the name is very catching because it has Elder Scrolls, but beyond that, there's really not a ton more that's catching my eye personally. I guess you get to build out a castle, which is okay, I guess. Rimgard Tactics drops on the 12th, and this one here, you're going to recruit your heroes and throw them into battle on what seems to be more of like a tabletop style game. This reminds me of a few games that I saw in development in the past that never came to fruition, while this one, well, this one is. We'll be able to play it very, very soon. I like the style here. It's different for strategy, tabletop style game, kind of like a chess match with real life characters. That being said, it also has a really cool artwork style. It's like a little bit rudimentary, plus a little bit Borderlands-like. I like the colors, I like the way that the game looks, and I like the way that you can build out your characters to perform the actions you want them to perform on the battlefield or the battle board. This one looks pretty cool and is probably worth checking out if you like strategy. On the 16th of September, we're finally getting Rainbow Six Mobile. We have been waiting for this shooter for so long, and it's finally about to be here for all of you to play. Now, we have a lot of games like Call of Duty Warzone that there were big expectations, but the delivery wasn't actually there. What I like about Rainbow Six is it has its tactical element to it, different than any other game or shooter out there. The tactical element makes it what it is and even brings it into a nice competitive scene as we see on the esports scene. My hopes for this game are that we can get a really good tactical esports event going on around the mobile rendition of Rainbow Six. The game looks pretty cool, the combat looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to take a little more brain work than just running around and gunning. This is one I've been waiting for an extremely long time. I've pre-registered, it's ready to go on my phone so I can play it on day one. Maybe I'll even give you a video here on the channel breaking it down with my first impressions as I get the game on my device. Definitely a must play. Now, Rubiks Match 3 also drops on the 16th. How do you back up Rainbow Six Mobile with Rubiks Match, a matching style game? I guess there's different gamers for different types of games, of course. Again, dropping on the 16th, we have a puzzle style game focused around the Rubik's Cube, which is obviously something that's very popular, but I mean, it's probably fun if you're looking for that casual gameplay experience and not looking for that run and gun shooter style strategy game that takes a lot of time investment and sweaty palms. This is your casual experience, one where you get to play with the Rubik's Cube and do puzzles. On September 26th, we get EA Sports Tactical. the soccer game, or football if you're watching it over there. Again, I've said this in a recent video, there's not a ton of sports-style games. There's more coming, but there's not a ton of sports-style games. This one is a very much simulation-style game, as you could just see from the gameplay mechanic. This one, you're going to be playing much more of a manager versus playing as a player actually on the field. Manage your team, build up your players, put them in the right positions, draft the right people to your squad, and you could see success in this one. But gameplay is going to be much more simplistic, as you can see, which is fine. It's not always about the gameplay or the way that the gameplay looks, because sometimes simplistic gameplay can be a ton of fun. Midnight Girl also drops on the 26th, and this is just an adventure style game where you go through this 2D style platformer game and uncover different mysteries and just get yourself involved in the story and the lore. You try and figure out what's going on. As you could tell, very atmospheric experience here. These type of games I typically steer personally away from, but that's just me. You may be different. Atmospheric is cool. Adventure is also cool. The game is just going to be a little bit more of a slower experience, which may be more up the alley for some of you gamers out there. Who am I to judge? And to finish off September, coming on the 30th, we have Cat Town Valley. Oh, exciting. You farm stuff, you manage your town, you do it with cats, and it's a casual experience. I know there's a lot of you that like these kinds of games too. I'm not one of them. I'm also more of a dog guy, but I guess for those of you that like this stuff, maybe you'll want to try it. Now, something I'm more looking forward to is Project Rise, which is in early alpha right now. This game is not going to be out for a year or two, but I've been covering it here in the channel because it's the latest and greatest from Supercell. Remember, use code ECHO in any Supercell game. It directly supports this channel. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video and found some gems that you could play in September. I'll see you guys in the next one, so please remember to subscribe.